This is the only outfit I have left from when I was a stripper. Uh, it's it's this little thing one of the gals helped me make. The girls there were so much fun. Actually, I think this is something I bought, but a couple of the girls helped me make some of the outfits, and I have booty shorts, and I had all kinds of sexy stuff. And I don't know how to pole dance, but this video is about working at a strip club and why I hated it, why I got into it. So in 2013, when I had been divorced just a couple years and I was ready to come out with my book, The Fuck List. At the time, I had a job consulting for school districts, and I was writing a lot of reports and doing research like school capacity analyses and stuff like that. And I had to quit my job when I came out with my book, and I needed money. So I'm like, I think being a stripper would be fun. And after having been married so long, I was just, and being trapped and being a good wife, I was just exploring my whole new life as a single person. And there was a lot of stuff I didn't know. I did not know about the sexual revolution. I didn't know about what had happened with flat wages for men. I didn't know any of this stuff. I had just been the sheltered wife in the suburbs. Um, I had always thought strip clubs were kind of fun because it's dancing and it's music and it's sexually open. And I grew up when sexuality was repressed, and that's why I missed the beat on my book, The Fuck List. Actually, when I wrote The Fuck List, I looked at the titles. There were no books on Amazon about women who were claiming their lust or their sexuality, so I thought I was onto something. But what I didn't realize was that the sexual revolution was already in full force. And my book was not a change agent for society. I was out of sync with social trends actually. So my book actually needs to be rewritten as more of what the case against the sexual revolution is, about how women can honor our sexuality without being repressed or being abused. And that's where the abuse comes in commercial porn, and I think in strip clubs as well. And I'll tell you why. So I was drawn to the strip club because I thought it's fun, it's sexually open. I had been raised to be sexually repressed. I wasn't allowed to date. I was told only good girls have sex and only with their husbands. And so the strip club seemed like a fun, sexually open, safe space. Um, and so what had happened was a few months before for my birthday, one of my girlfriends, I had gone to a strip club, and I just loved the music, and I thought this would be fun. And I was mostly going out sober, okay? So I was like sober, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing any drugs. I just liked the music and the dancing. So I applied to a couple nude strip clubs in San Diego. I worked first at, what was that place called again? It was down right by the Marine Corps recruiting depot. Oh, I forgot the name. But anyway, I had to get fingerprinted because in the city of San Diego, you have to be fingerprinted to work at a nude strip club. So I had to go down to the San Diego police station, be FBI fingerprinted, got my ID card to the police station, and then I could go work as a stripper. Um, Deja Vu, that was the name of the club. I don't know if it's still there. So, so this is what, and then I got fired for giving a guy a lap dance and having my panties off and not keeping the 6 foot distance. Because in the San Diego city limits, there's a 6 foot distance requirement when we're nude. And then I went to Cheetahs. So I worked at those two strip clubs, and I will say that the gals were super fun. Um, I liked the women there. I liked the music. It was fun to dance. I didn't know how to pole dance, but that was okay. I would watch what some of the other ladies did and try to copy that. And I would say that most of the women were on some kind of drugs or alcohol. There were only a few women that were like me that were doing this. They had their lives in order, but they were doing this to explore their sexuality in some way. There was a lady my age who was married, and she was, she also sold like some makeup products on the side. There was another lady who was like an EMT or paramedic, I think. There was another lady who was a yoga teacher. But other than that, I would say a lot of them were like drunk or on drugs while they were dancing. Now, I will tell you what I didn't like about it. First of all, we had to, the money sucks, okay? The money is not good. It's not empowering because we had to pay for each shift. So at Cheetah's, we had to pay. And Cheetah's is the #1 strip club in San Diego. It's a nude strip club. We had to, and they don't serve alcohol at the all nude ones. I don't remember if we had to pay at Deja Vu, but we had to pay at Cheetah's. I think it was $40 a shift, so we had to pay. But that wouldn't be so bad if we made money. Now, the men have to pay to come in there, but the men think, well, I paid, and now they sit around the stage and they want a free show. And the women are basically dancing for free. That's what I wanted to say. That's what was very disrespectful. I don't want to take my clothes off and dance with these guys for free. I thought, naively, that if I danced well and they liked me, they would then invite me to a lap dance. Wrong. Most of those guys that come into the strip club are cheap, broke-ass cheapskates. They're like the guys that go in the restaurant and don't tip. They figure, why should I pay these girls? So, we're basically stripping for free, and that's what I didn't like. And they'll throw their dollar bills on stage. Give me a fucking break. That's the first part that felt violating. Now, it took me just 3 months to get the hell out of there. But because I kept trying, if I do this, if I do this, if I do this, how can I make some money out of this? Maybe if I dance sexier, maybe I could get some lap dances. No. And it wasn't just because I was in my 50s. I had a nice body, and there were some guys who liked it. Nobody did any better. Do you know who did really well? The scammers and the hustlers. The women who are not because they're pretty, and the managers at these clubs were always really great. They were not perverts, believe me. And the one manager at Cheetah's told me, now he goes, see this girl getting ready to come in the office because they have a camera. He goes, she's the #1 money maker at the club, and she's not the prettiest one. She's the best at the hustle, at the sales. It's not how nice you are. It's not how pretty you are. It's how good you are at scamming guys out of their money, manipulating them out of their money by talking to them at the to get a lap dance. Okay, so you do these lap dances for dollars thrown on the stage, or tucked in if you're still dressed. You gather up all your money, and then we have to go around to the tables. And basically, I call it throw ourselves at the men. Again, humiliating, backwards energy. Women should not be begging men for money or attention. It's fucked up. It pisses me off that people actually still have that business model. The men should be paying to have a woman sit at their table. They should have like a number or a buzzer system. The men should have to sit alone, and if they want a company of a woman, they should pay for that woman's company at the table. But that's not how it works, because the guys who run the club just want the money, and they use the women. Just like the guys who run restaurants, they don't want to pay their server staff, so they're relying on the customers to pay the staff, and that's what the strip clubs do. You are in it for yourself, and you got to wrestle the money out of these guys, which is fucked up. It makes me mad to think about how these women are treated. but I was only in there briefly. So we talk to these guys forever, a half hour, an hour, and they still don't want a freaking lap dance because maybe they're never going to order a lap dance at all. Maybe they'll get one that night, and it could be with me or some other girl. Maybe I sit down, but they really want the big breasty blonde, or they want the black girl, or they want the Asian girl. Maybe they don't like older women. One time I came into Deja Vu, and all these women were there. There was one guy, and he didn't want any of them. I walked in, he took one look at me, he had me come over for a lap dance. So sometimes I was the favorite, and usually I wasn't. So we sit at the tables, we talk to these guys for free, and then at some point we have to decide when to cut our losses and move on to the next table. If we're lucky, we get a lap dance. Now the lap dance would be the guys can't touch us, and it's like 10 minutes for, I don't know, it wasn't a lot of money. The $100 lap dances were in a room with a curtain, and I think that was 10 minutes. But here's the thing, the ladies who hustle, they do stuff they're not supposed to do. I'm convinced of that. They're giving blowjobs, they're giving hand jobs, and they could even be fucking them. That's what I think they do. I think they sweet talk them. I think they tell them, come on, we can have a good time. And there was one gal there who had her regulars come in, her regulars. I think she was giving them hand jobs and blowjobs in there. That's what I think. And she would always put her makeup on before, and she would, say they like coming to see me because they know what they'll get. Yeah, they'll get a blowjob. And I bet they only paid her very little, not as much as I ever got as an escort. So first of all, we got to pay to even the privilege of being there. Then we dance, strip and dance nude, entertain, whether it's pole dancing or floor dancing, showing our pussies to these guys for free. If they want to throw a couple bucks, which is humiliating on the stage, not real money, but pennies basically, then we have to walk around and prance around hoping for a lap dance. And if we're a good hustler and a good manipulator, those girls make money. Either you have to be very good at the pole dancing and be known as like a good pole dancer to be a main attraction, or you have to be a manipulator called a hustler and give them sexual acts, in my opinion. So then we had to work till like 2 a.m. I will tell you this, I would rather be drunk and go to bed at 8 than be sober and go to bed at 3 a.m. because it fucks with my sleep. I would go to bed sober, and I would wake up and I would feel like I was run over by a garbage truck. I was so wiped out because that going to bed late thing is not that great. Okay, then when we go home, I know there are girls who make money on the side. See, the girls that make the money are giving the guy sex, either at the club or after the club. Okay, that's how they make their money. You do not make your money on the dancing, in my opinion. So then when we leave, I still haven't made that much money. Say I made $150. By the way, depends on the economy. Like during the housing bubble, girls were making a lot of money. And when I was working in 2013, they said it was hardly anything at all. There were some gals making a lot more money than I was, but I wasn't doing very well because I'm not a hustler. I'm not a hustler. I don't want to hustle. I don't want to manipulate you. I'm just this authentic, sweet person. So now I have $150. I've already paid 40 of it just to work there. So say I'm at 110, but whatever. Say I have $150 when I leave for the night. Let's say 100 just to make it easy. And some nights I only had 100 or less. And I got there at 2. I was there from 2 to 12, let's say, or from 5 to 2. That's a long shift for $100. Now I have to tip out. And I was honest, a lot of ladies were lying and cheating on the tipping out. I tipped out. You got to tip out the DJ, you got to tip out the manager, and you got to tip out the guy at the front door, the bouncer. I think they each get 5 or 10%. I don't remember. So by the time I tip out and pay the stage fee, I'm left with $50. And I've shown my pussy to all these guys. I've hustled for lap dances. And basically, I was there just to have a good time, but I really thought I could make money at it. And so, right at the end, when I was working at Deja Vu, this Norwegian scientist was in town, PhD scientist was in town, and he asked me to come to his hotel room afterward. And he was very nice and very proper, and I felt very safe and comfortable with him. So at 2 in the morning, when I was done working, I went over there. By the way, I never missed a shift. I was always on time. A lot of girls were very flaky and sketchy, but fun. So I went over there, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you would come over." And he said, "Let me just take a shower." He took a shower, and then he came in bed with me, and he gave me an orgasm, and he was so sweet. And then I didn't know how much money he would pay me. He gave me $300. This was in 2013. And I'm like, this guy was nicer in bed to me than my husband ever was. He was very affectionate. He liked giving me an orgasm. I made so much more money than I made at the strip club. I felt happy driving home. I had a really good time. And this was at the time in my life that I was going to Landmark Education, and I was in one of those. I'd taken the Landmark Forum, the advanced course. There's actually a stripper. There was a stripper that was in one of my earlier or later courses. But anyway, and I was in a class called Life is Play. And I think that a lot of us take life so seriously, women should be like this and men should be like this. But this class was about life is play. And I really like to keep remembering that life is play and not be so serious. I'm like, you know what? Forget these rigid rules about women should be this way or men should be that way. I feel great. I had a great time. I feel happy. I feel like I want more of this. And so I made a decision that I would explore that side of the business because I'd done it before in the 80s just for 6 months while I was in college. So when I worked at Cheetahs, I was kind of had some ads up on Backpage, and I was always making more money from the Backpage ad guys who and that was the difference. When I had my ad on Backpage, that's been taken down now, and I don't do this anymore. But when I had my ad on Backpage, it was completely different. The men would apply to see me. I didn't have to show my body to anyone who wasn't paying, like at the strip club. The men would apply to see me. They were very respectful. They paid me a lot more money. And all I had to do was put up an ad, and the men were flocking to me and to all women. It's just a different business model. And it's a better business model because the man has to have resources and respect to even have access to us or talk to us when we're in the Backpage model. Whereas if we're in the stripping model, we throw ourselves at men, we throw our bodies at men, they get to see everything, and they've only paid the admission to the club. In my case here in San Diego, we got nothing of that money. So that's how I made that switch, and that's why I'm very against the stripping industry. I think that the only proper way to run a strip club would be that men have to pay a lot more to come in. They have to pay to come on the stage and see the dance. And they can only have a woman's company at the table. If they pay for it, they would have to pay a lot more. And frankly, I don't know if that business model would work. I don't know if it would even work or be profitable if women were actually honored rather than taken advantage of, frankly. Yeah, it's kind of almost like I don't want to say it's pimping because they were respectful. They were not violent. Like the guys who make the commercial porn and the guys who, have girls working for them as sex workers, as prostitutes, they're pimping. They're taking advantage of the women. The strip club wasn't like that. but the women weren't really empowered. I do not think that we should not be showing our bodies to men for free. I think that any man seeing our naked body should pay or should be a boyfriend or a husband. That's why when I went to that polyamory retreat and all these people were nude bathing, going nude swimming, I kept my bikini on. Like, you guys don't fucking deserve to see me naked. I don't want to show you my naked body. That's why I don't go to the nude beach, Black Beach in San Diego. Why do I want to go around showing some random guys my nude body? Fuck that. No way. You gotta earn that. But see, I wasn't sexually abused as a child, so I see sex very differently. The women that were sexually abused as children, they use their sexuality very loosely and they don't have good boundaries around their sexuality. But anyway, this was one of the outfits, and I tried to have a lot of fun with it. You know, I gave it my best shot, and I didn't know how to make money at it. And I'm okay with that. So yeah, just this fun little outfit. We could wear whatever we wanted, you know, because that's the other thing. We were independent contractors, so they couldn't tell us what to wear or what to do. And we could pick our shift. I did work the daytime shift at Cheetahs, but the guys there were really nice. The men who worked at the strip club were very nice. They never exploited any of us. They were safe, trusted men. I have to say, I always felt safe. They never sexualized us. They never objectified us. They were always respectful, and they felt like, you know, mentors or uncles or something like that. Some of them were kind of hot, I want to say, but when we went on stage, we could pick the songs we wanted. But they had a no rap rule, which was too bad because I love rap music. Anyway, if any of you have ever worked at a strip club or been to a strip club or seen escorts, I would love to hear your comments on what you think about your experience at a strip club and the way that I perceive it as being not respectful towards women. You know, that women have to be the pursuers and throw themselves at men, basically. Whereas in the escort world, the men have to bring their money and respectfully apply, which is much more in line with feminine, sexual, erotic energy and how it actually works. But I want to know what you guys think. And thank you for watching my video.